Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to let you know that the next article is dropping. Ta-da! Really cool story actually. The Spectator, which is just like a fabulous fucking journal, online journal originally from the UK. They've got an American branch. They liked my Louis C.K. article, and so they were like, pitch us something. And so I wrote this article that's gonna be published this week sometime. I'm not really sure when, but I wanted to let you guys know that it was coming. But anyways, the article is about this really cool, really funny comic, Lavell Crawford, who is really popular in Black America and just like totally unknown in white America. And I'm sort of asking the difference, like, is there really a white and a Black America regarding comedy? And why doesn't the press cover certain comics and not others from minority communities to advertise to what I'm pretty sure is still a white audience for most major publications. So, hopefully, like you've come to guess from me, it's a little bit racy, a little bit spicy, but I think it's pretty well written, and it'll be interesting to hear what you guys think about the argument. Oh, and then I thought that I would tell you a little bit about like what it was like publishing it, because I know that when I was writing stuff, I was always curious about like writer's stories or whatever. And this one's sort of cool. They, the Spectator saw my Louis C.K. article and they were like, why don't you pitch us something? And so I did, and they were like, oh, we're going to print this. This is great. And I was like, hell yeah. And then I sent it to my editor and he was like, you need to basically cut this in half. And I was like, how am I going to take a really sensitive article that I've written like a very particular way and cut half out of it? It's going to hurt my argument. But I managed to do it. He said, get it down to 1,300 words, and I did, and it was like close to 2,000, so I did a really good job. And so then he sends me back his edits, and it's like, it was the most awful, it wasn't my writing at all. He just totally rewrote it. And I was freaking out. And I was like, you can't do this to me because it's such a sensitive article. I really talk about things that I shouldn't be talking about. It's got to be written in a certain way that has to do with tone. How articles are received based on how you phrase things, even if it doesn't look like it's intentional, particularly when it looks sloppy. If it's by an author who knows what she's doing, a writer that you trust, then she's doing it intentionally, and it's a rhetorical technique, and it's a way to deliver an argument so that it sounds interesting, while hopefully being interesting as well. And like I said, I'd love to hear what you guys think. Anyway, so he totally cut it up, and I was like, oh my god, this is awful. I'm gonna have to release another YouTube video, and I'm gonna have to publish it on my own again, which sucks because every writer wants to be published. But then, oh right, then the best part was that in our communication back and forth, he had thought that I was a boy because my name, Jesse Longman, is spelled Jesse, like the boy spelling. And so he asked me to send him a draft, Mr. Longman. And I corrected him, and I did something like cheeky, like, XOXO, hugs and kisses, I'm a girl. When he totally rewrote my article, a friend of mine who I was freaking out to at the time was like, oh my god, Jesse, you shouldn't have told him that you were a girl. He altered the article because he figured that he could dominate you, that you were a little girl and he was a big boy and he was going to stomp all over your pretty words. And I was like, oh my God, that sucks. For obvious reasons. Nobody wants to have um, their work compromised by somebody who thinks that they're incompetent because of their gender, obviously. Anyway, so I was really nervous about that, and I like got really upset and made a YouTube video, which then I took down because the conclusion is bum ba bum. Not all men hate women. He was not trying to take his big man feet and smash my pretty little words. He was really sorry that he fucked up my tone and was like, "We're really interested in your writing. Make it sound like you again." There are like various journalistic conceits that tend to like privilege arguments at the beginning rather than at the end so that the person reading knows immediately what they're reading before they get down. I had written it more novelistically maybe, where the information was in different, there was maybe a little bit more tension, maybe a little bit more shock and awe. Anyways, the article as it is now, he was like, you know, just work with me here, take the article, change it the way that you want, and we'll publish it. We stand behind you. Which was just the very coolest thing that an editor could have done for a writer. And if you're a writer out there or an artist of any kind and you're trying to say something that is particular and maybe difficult because of its particularity, it's so nice to have people, men or women, in positions of authority, respect your authentic voice. And that's what he did. And it was not a gendered thing at all. And I felt really silly for thinking that, because that was clearly not the case after talking to him. And so I just want to say, you know, these arguments, does he not like me because of this? Am I not getting published because of that? It's so easy to just say that it's unfair and somebody's doing this to me and I'm a victim, I guess is what I'm saying. And the truth is that, like, okay, there are definitely circumstances where you may in fact be the victim, but it's not always. Sometimes there are like misunderstandings and people with really good intentions at the other side of it. So like, again, like I was pleading for in the Louis C.K. article, I'm doing the same thing here. I'm pleading for a little bit more dignity to a conversation that is often complex, and to not assume that everybody's motives are bad just because you're not necessarily getting the thing that you thought that you should get, or that is your due, or that is the law. The difference is the spice, the thing that makes the story percolate, the thing that I have to tell you that made this video hopefully even mildly interesting to listen to. Okay, so now I'm going to shut the hell up because it's boring. But look for the article. It's on Lavell Crawford, a really, really cool comedian that I hope that I get to introduce you guys to, unless you've already heard of him, and in which case, like, thank God, why didn't you write something about him? He's awesome. And it's coming out in the Spectator, so look for it this week. Spectator.com. Jesse Longman, thanks so much for listening. Bye.